Welcome to the Football Historian Podcast.
By all means, enjoy it.
He will go right to the very top.
Dos, tres, cuatro times.
Here we go, Germans.
I will turn these results round.
All right, that's good manners.
There's animosity, but there's no fight.
If you can't beat them, join them.
How do you make me feel sick if I look at you?
No, I want to fight here.
Don't drink, don't sleep with women, don't drive fast cars.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit too!
Hello, welcome to the Football Historian Podcast. My name is Peter Kenny-Jones, and this week I was delighted to be joined by Thomas Atkinson. We had a full chat about his football career. We also had a full chat about his time in the Big Brother house. This is the first time he's proper done an in-depth conversation, so we decided to make it a separate video for anyone who might not be interested in the football side, but is interested in the Big Brother side. However, if you do want to know more about Thomas, his life inside football, the full video is out right now. There's a link here, there's a link in the comments below. Get involved, give that a watch, and I hope you enjoy this too. Thank you. Right. We're going to take a big gear change now and go to Big Brother, if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me
So I was saying to you before that saying a guilty pleasure, I feel like it's bad to say, but I proper love it though. I watch every episode. Yeah. I've watched all of it all the time. Like maybe Mrs. watch even like the bit on the side and everything proper going.
Alive,
yeah. I'm loving it. Yeah, so whatever it's called nowadays, but you know what I mean. So I want just some general questions.
Yeah.
But the first one I want to ask is the new schedule on ITV.
Yeah.
Is that it's eviction on a Friday.
Yeah.
Saturday it's not on, and then Sunday you get like the catch up of the whole thing. What happens on Saturdays?
Oh, it's just like a normal day. We don't do much. It's a really boring day though.
That's what I said. What do they make you do?
Like obviously, I don't know what the schedule was. Like you're telling me this now. Like it's not on a Saturday. I didn't know. Genuinely, I didn't even know it wasn't on a Saturday. But it's like it's like honestly, most of the time, it's so boring in there. Like I'm bored at my school half the time. I need something to stimulate me all the time. Of like some challenge or some conversation or some task. I'm gonna need something. But I was bored at my school half the time. Of like sometimes I'm listening to people tell a story. I'm like, I've heard you tell a story 3 times, and I'm not even going to stop you because I just need to kill my time. But yeah, we knew it was Friday's eviction. Eviction days are so boring because all you do is clean, so that the house looks nice for telly. Pretty much. Yeah. Like they give you like all the hoovers and like you clean and stuff like that. Pretty much all the mess that's happened in the last week, you'll clean up on a Friday just so that when they pan to it on live television, it looks nice. And we'll always remember, if they absolutely fuck with you all week, it'll be good for Friday anyways, because they'll sort it out because they don't want you in a riled up state for Friday.
So what do you mean they'll be good to you in what sense?
So like, for example, when we get messed up like week in, week out of like all these like challenges and like punishments, stuff like that, we know it'll be sorted for Friday because because I actually remember one while I was in there, I was like, if they carry on messing with me, you wait till you put me on live television in this state of like, I'm just going to go start swearing and any producer's getting it right now. So that we always know it's sorted for Friday. So like, I don't know if everyone knew that, but I knew that they're not going to I think I realised after like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they're not going to put us on live television in a state of, I hate this production team. They're not going to do that.
Right. And then, do you see other people from Big Brother? Do you see the staff are not?
Genuinely, like, I think people were quite surprised at how literally removed you are. Like people say, like, "Oh, is it like the magic of the television?" You like, swear to God, you don't see anyone. There's no contact with the outside world. I remember a few times we've seen staff like accidentally, like they've like ran to get something from inside that's been left there, and like they forget to close like a fire exit. Like I remember one time I went to the toilet and like the door in front of me was wide open. I could see cameras and stuff like that. They're not pointed at me, but like I remember just poking my head in because like everyone like run out straight away because like we're not supposed to be like see anyone. And I went, I'm just gonna close this for you, and we'll pretend this didn't happen. No one gets fired, and I just close the door for them. But like you completely remove, you won't see anyone. Like no one comes into the thing. The only person I've seen in there was David Potts when he came in.
Oh, yeah.
And then that was it.
And then when they're like doing the decorations and the house and all that, can you hear them doing?
Oh, it's so loud, man.
Like drilling stuff
so
and all
loud.
That,
I was tactical. Well, I didn't plan this, but I worked out that it was a 100 IQ player of the left side of the bedroom. So like I think where like Lily's bed was, and like Khaled's and Izzad's, like because it was that way, you could hear everything that one. You could hear them speaking. You could hear all like the drilling and like the throwing stuff around. And normally like they'll pump up the AC to like really, really high, so that like the AC is trying to be too loud to like hear what's going on or like what they might be setting up. But you could kind of still hear everything. But like my bed was ages away from it, so I was actually quite lucky that I didn't really hear much.
So you were trying to get the gossip, you were just trying to sleep, basically.
Nah, yeah. Sleeping was hard in there, man. But
is that, and then I'm guessing is it just you're all just in there, people are snoring and it's audible.
Yeah,
is it? And...
yeah, pretty much. Like I shared, me and Marcello got on really well. I shared a bed with him for like 5 weeks, which is mental. As like a 20-year-old lad, should have been with a 34-year-old bloke, which I'd never met before. But I had a great time. We had a laugh. Like it was good the fact that I could like share a bed with someone. You could like as soon as you take your mics off and like for bed, and like you can kind of like have pillow talk that no one can hear because your mics are off. There's a mic like dangling above you, but like if you are talking like covering like so far and like speaking to a pillow, like whispering, no one can hear it. Which is quite lucky in the crowd because you can chat the most mental stuff.
In what, in terms of plot and gameplay, or
like,
just
not even that. Just like
topics,
just like cello chatting about which birds he thinks fit and like who what you would do to certain situations and what he thinks of Ali in this situation. Like I heard it all and like there was no mics on, so I didn't get it. Well, I don't really know if I didn't watch it.
Well, yeah, I did. I can't remember seeing it. What I was going to say as well is when it's been mad talking about this on a football history podcast, but just trying to talk about the quick. When Nathan and Baked Potato got together in the fire exit. Oh yeah, you heard like they got the footage of the mic. What was that like?
What melons? Right.
So, but what happened then, and like, where did you go and all that?
It was a fire exit, right? And like this wasn't planned. This was our tradition. We'd seen people then because there was like security and like because we took out the Big Brother house through the garden. Yeah. And like took out like across the street, and we were like, "What's going on?"
So you were outside the house,
because like it was a proper fire drill. We went to this different warehouse, and like me and Khaled, we were smart. We just took off our mics and had a conversation that we had. It was pretty much like we were put into like a room, like a warehouse, and like there was a bunch of like people like looking at us, like saying, and like they were just pretty much like writing down what we said or what we're doing at the time. So like. Absolute melons. Why did you leave your mic on? Me and Khaled took our mics off, put them in our pocket, and just had a conversation like completely off air. And you learn like about someone's normal life and like what like they're like on the outside. Like I didn't really change. I was like, well, I've just chatted about what I did on the inside. Yeah. But like you can also like, who did you nominate? I knew who he nominated. He knew who I nominated the first week. So like we kind of knew we were on the same wavelength. So like obviously no one knew that. I remember having that conversation with Khaled, and I was like. So like I knew for the rest of the show, like he's real, like he's not like trying to fuck us over. He's not like acting like someone he's not, because I know that he nominated in the first week. He nominated Ali and Lily, I believe, and I nominated Days and Lily. So like I knew we were kind of on the same like wavelength about stuff. So I was like, that's what I knew, like we're friends. But like they left their mics on. Why did you leave your mic on?
Do you reckon it's deliberate?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. Like people say, like, is it a showman's? It wasn't a showman's. It was a hard watch. Yeah, it was a hard watch, and it was a hard watch. People on telly. It was a harder watch in person. Like I promise you, it was a harder watch in person. But it wasn't a showman's. Yeah. Which I seen like it was quite weird to come out to when people find out a showman's. I just thought it would be, like people were going to say like it's quite cringy. But like it was a real relationship. But yeah, like oh my god, it was a hard watch.
Honestly, I could ask so many questions. I'm just worried that people listening might not care
no,
as I do.
I've got all day. You ask me questions. If we cut them out, then you just get your personal like finger. Like you got that question answered. That's fine.
Did you got evicted? Did you when you were in the room in the
I went
wardrobe?
In the vault, which was shit. I went to a live one.
Yeah, I'm about to say like how are you always thinking about getting that big exit, and then because people always seem gutted about it, and I like personally I just think I wouldn't be that bothered. But like, is it just because it's something to do?
I think. When we got into the like thing, because we were always kind of expecting a double eviction, that never started to come. And there was only one like double eviction, like live one. And we were expecting there to be more, but there wasn't, which we were really confused. So we knew like the finals coming up, they're going to need to start throwing people out, and they started throwing out people like day by day by day, and we were like, shit. Like it got to a point where like everyone was like, right, my stuff's here. If I'm leave today, my bag's here. The rest stuff's in my wardrobe. I also have that wardrobe as well. So I remember like Ali was telling me all where stuff were. I was told like Marcello and Ali where all my stuff was. So that like if one of us go, I'm getting everything. And they didn't even pack me everything. I was gutted. I got to the hotel and I didn't have a toothbrush. I didn't have my wash bag. I was like, what are you playing at? I had everything apart from that, but
So what happens then? Do you have to tell Big Brother what you've left, or?
Nah. So what happened? Obviously, we left through the vault, and like that, like so our bags weren't packed. This was like a spawned in thing of like an eviction. So we left. When we left, you literally walk out and you're met by like all the production team. You're given like a debrief about like how you've been received on social media and like what any controversial incidents and stuff like that. And then because we got took out on the Monday night and the episode didn't get aired till the Tuesday night, so like throughout that time, people are like, what did you do? Like, if I didn't get took out with Sarah, I would have been the most bored person ever, because you weren't giving it. It was worse than the time you were going before it, because you literally went out and went to a hotel room. You weren't allowed to be seen by anyone because you weren't out yet in the public eye. So you literally had to go to your hotel room, and you weren't allowed outside or anything. Like, you weren't allowed nothing. You were allowed to like order food, but I came out at like 3 a.m. What am I going to order? And we got like a hotel pizza. I don't even like pizza, but I just got it for the sake of it. So I was in the room with Sarah, and then I was I don't know what it is. I'm just a little nifty bugger, me. So I was like, because they rigged the hotel room so they can't have anything. Like, the lines aren't connected on the phone. TV's unconnected. Like, obviously you don't have an iPad, you don't have a phone or anything yet. Not giving it because you're not out yet, so they don't.
Why can't you watch the telly though?
Because you're supposed to be not reconnected with the outside world of anything that's going on. So like, if you might see someone on the news that might like affect what you're going, because you're going on late in life right after, aren't you? But I'm a nifty bugger. So I was sat in this room with Sarah, and Sarah can vouch for this. I went like, right, you don't tell anyone, and I won't tell anyone, but I know how to get this TV back started. So like, I remember I was fishing for this wire for ages, and like I plugged the wire in. I was like, let me put this on slow, like low volume, because the production guys just come in randomly, and I was like, if it just happens, don't worry about it. Just like play it. So we're getting all the news. I was finding out that Donald Trump was president. I was finding out that Ruth Van Nistelrooy was the current manager of Man United. I was finding out that Nottingham Forest was some reason like absolutely incredible. I was like learning all this stuff about like the stock market, cryptocurrency. I was like, oh my god, I didn't know anything this went on. I found out Liam Payne died for the first time. I'm like, what's going on in this world? I came out to a completely different world. I was looking. Me and Sarah were literally looking at the news like this.
So how long was he in there?
In that room?
In the Big Brother house?
In general, like, I think almost 7 weeks of like, 6 weeks, sorry, of like unconnected.
And then before it, you're saying as well, you're not allowed your phone or anything like
you were like, you're locked in like, I think for like 4 days, of like, and that was horrible. Like, that was just.
Do you not see anyone? Because I'm sure I hear people saying like they bumped into someone.
They said they've seen people, but like it wasn't like bumped in. It was like more like knowing the fact that is a contestant and they're over there, but you can't really like see them, or you can't wave, or you can't do anything like that. It's kind of like I don't know. I didn't see anyone there.
Yeah. No, it's just mad. And I will have to cut some of this out because I'm just interested. But the diary room.
Yeah.
Do they just feed you loads of stuff to say, hoping that you're going to start saying stuff?
The dickheads in the diary room, the dickheads. Right. So pretty much there's loads of different voices of the Big Brother. Like loads of different voices. Like you got like certain voices that just sound nice. For example, remember, and probably like a laddish talk now. Like I haven't seen a woman in like 6 weeks, and I'm hearing like the most beautiful sounding voice. And I'm like, just keep talking. But then if the public see that, like, you're hearing this like massive like bloke talking, you're going like,
so he like dubs over.
So like what you see online, I mean, what you see is like looking at it is like the traditional like Big Brother voice, whereas we're hearing different voices. So like they don't air some stuff because we're just like talking to this certain voice. Like I was speaking to like this Scottish one, and I'm like, what the fuck? When's Big Brother Scottish or something like that? But yeah, in the diary room, pretty much they'll give you loads of stuff, and then they'll clip the bits that they want, so they can take it completely out of context.
That's about to say, like, they must be
the proper dickheads on the diary room, like dickheads.
And then, so you haven't watched it back at all, but what's the feedback of it, or like, do you think it's been
bad? I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, you were quite quiet tonight.
That was mental. Like, I think any housemates can like quote the fact that like I wasn't like quiet in any. I wasn't boring. Like I came out of the bar and I was like, oh, I'd rather everyone hated me, right? I'd much rather everyone hated me and thought this guy's a dickhead. Why does he put his head into everything? Why does he chat about the most nonsense subjects ever? Just like leave it out than be called boring, because that was honestly that done my tits in. So I'm like, no way have I done all that. But pretty much like what is it, like the TV sense of, I was in there to fill their like storyline of this certain quarter of like maybe like a thing with Lily, or like fit the sense of like playing to the disability card. But I don't play into the disability card. I'm not there to go like, feel sorry for me, I have a disability. I'm not that sort of person, so that's not my sort of style. So I'm guessing because I didn't do that on ITV, they were like, well, I don't really know what to do with him now.
Yeah,
just kind of we've got other stuff going on, so we'll just leave him
I
out.
think your storylines were that there was a possible thing with Lily.
Yeah,
and
like
well, not a rivalry, but like not liking Ali that much. But I think seeing what you said
I-
after you were mates with him.
like me and Ali were like busy mates. Like, and I don't know why it showed. I really like Ali. Like, I really like Ali, and people have problems with her. And like, I've heard like people that like have been friends with like Marcello. Like, I really like Marcello, and I know that they don't like each other. And like, I heard him like finger on lives. I'm like, I'm not getting involved with it because I like her. I'm not like gonna like just like like when I actually like someone. So like I got on with Ali like a lot, and I think it was kind of like the people that I like was closest with didn't like her, so I would then be in there for not like her, but I really liked her. So like I said, I didn't really fit their storyline of like maybe they just ripped me wrong of like expecting me to be some like different person of like very involved with like a romantic side, or very much like playing into the idea of like 21-year-old lad would have all these certain views where I was just having a great time. I was more there for the comedic side of things, and I think the other housemates can say I'd rather spend all my time laughing and making funny stuff than spend it arguing about politics and arguing about different masculinity and stuff like that. Just like leave it out, mate. Give your head a wobble and I'll move on.
Yeah, that did seem. And the worst bit for me would be missing the footy and the.
Oh yeah, I'm gutted, man. Gutted.
Did you get no nothing? No.
Until one of the
wasn't one of the rewards. Did you say you got footy results or something?
Nah.
Maybe those I'm celeb. I apologize.
I didn't get nothing. The best challenge was the one that I got to just boot loads of footballs. Like, do you remember the challenge? It was like throwing the neighbour's ball back, and I was absolute like. If housemates watching, they can comment under this or whatever. And I was getting these balls, and I was absolutely levering them. There was some balls that were like quite light, or like quite hard. Like you literally just have to kick it over this like big studio wall, and it was quite hard to be fair. Like they were just giving me balls, and I was just launching them with like a goal kick, right? And then they dropped some balls over that were kind of like softballs, and like they would go. And I was literally trying to kick them over the studio, and I was absolutely levering them. And honestly, it's the funniest challenge ever. And I think it hardly got aired though, because every single time I was like kicking the ball, go, get to fuck, have that, fuck off. But like every time I kicked the ball, it's obviously not going to air it when I keep just squaring like that. But like all I kept doing it, and I look back and I'm like, why didn't that get aired all the time? But I was absolutely levering them, and I loved it, man. Absolutely loved it.
That's all you needed was a footy.
Oh my god, it was. I'm thinking of it now, and I'm getting excited because it was so fun. I didn't kick the ball in ages. I was using like socks as footballs.
Yeah,
I'm obsessed with like.
There's a bit of grass there as well. You could even definitely have like one bounce or something there.
It's like little getting one bounce, a little bit of fun. Like I said, I didn't kick the ball in ages. I just wanted something to do.
Yeah.
And then the start like literally like I walked into the garden and it was like about 20 balls like literally getting thrown over the thing towards me. I felt like I was in like a movie, and I was just connecting them like the ball was falling through the edge of the box, and I was going whack. Oh, I loved it, man. I'm so excited thinking of it. Calm down, Thomas.
So, last couple of questions there, because I will go off, but I'm still interested. The smoking shelter bit, there's like the year before they had no cameras in there, and then this year they had like a terrible camera in there. Yeah. Is that just obviously they can't show you smoking?
I don't smoke, and like I don't smoke, don't vape, don't do any of that nonsense. But like a lot, like oh my god, I don't say all of them. 90% of them do. Yeah. But like they don't want to show that.
They put you in the room.
So like that's why like they make only one person going at times, just so like the fact that they're not.
So I was about to say, was that not like a little secret getaway where people could have secret chats?
Like, nah, because they didn't want anything to happen in there because they're not allowed to show like smoking and vape and stuff like that. Yeah. So like they're trying to make sure that nothing happens in there because they know they can't really use it.
Someone wrote the name of the wall or something.
Yeah,
that's why they had to show it then. And I remember the camera quality was awful.
Yeah,
so it
was because they don't want to show any of that stuff. Yeah. But it was just them being like, they were just trying to find a way to fuck with us pretty much.
Yeah. And then is there any secret place in there or any way you could get away with anything? No.
There was no.
Like, even the toilets, you're still mic'd up, but could you not just take your mic off and talk in the toilet? Is there a camera in there they just don't use? Yeah, okay, fine.
You camera in the shower, you camera in the toilet. Like,
do you have to like sign up to say you're 5 or something?
Yeah, sounds like.
Someone's probably watching your shower.
Yeah, like I remember being like looking at the camera, right? Of like you're watching me, and like you'll see a camera turn while you're in the shower, like to look at you, and I'm like I want you to feel uncomfortable just staring at the camera. Like, I know you're getting paid to watch me in the shower, so I'm just going to carry on staring at you just so you feel just as uncomfortable as I do the fact that you're looking at me. So I'm going to look at you while I'm like got my hands like all over myself, watching myself. I'm just going to stare at you, make you feel just as uncomfortable as I feel right now.
Yeah.
But you get over it after like a few. I think generally after like my first time I was in the shower in there was when I had a bucket on, and my dignity was gone after that point.
I haven't even asked you about the eyebrow.
It's gone after that point. So.
Yeah, are you glad you're not baked potato? Are you happy that's
honestly,
not your destiny?
I picked the perfect ones apart from the eyebrow one.
Yeah.
And I like my exact tactic was I think I was on the red team to start with, or like blue team, and I went like I was being red team, and then I was like, right, I'm moving to the blue team now, so I'll pick the blue team one. And I think it was a smart move. I was apart from the eyebrow one, I would have just happily stuck some gum in my head, but apart from that, I chose the right ones.
Yeah, and I said because baked potato will forever be known.
Yeah,
as
no,
baked
I'd be
potato,
gutted. I'd be absolutely gutted.
You would actually be known as that, wouldn't you?
I'd be gutted. I would have said yeah at the time, but because I didn't think it would actually go on for that long.
Yeah.
But I'd have been absolutely gutted.
Yeah, it is a bad one. And okay, I'll ask. Two more. I'll ask.
If you want to make this like a two-part, feel free, man.
Yeah, but we did the Big Brother chat.
Put like a football section, a Big Brother section.
Well then, is there any big fights or anything that happened that it wasn't aired that you know of?
There was loads of things that get like I think me and Lily had an argument that got aired once, but we had about 3. There was, like I said, I really haven't watched it, so I can't exactly say like, or there was this argument that got. But there's loads of stuff that happened, like just so pretty much like if they didn't air the first bit. There's an argument, something happened because of the and a big argument happened in the second bit, but it happened because of the first bit. But they didn't air the first bit; they can't air any of it. So there was a whole lot of stuff that happened that they didn't air because they missed like the opening bits because they didn't air that in the days before, or like for example like the Marcello incident of like the pH thing, they didn't show that before it. So like they dipped like knickers in like a tuna can. They opened a can of tuna, dipped the knickers in it, so it had like an absolute foul smell, and then left it on your bed, and they didn't show that bit.
What was that bit?
I don't think they did. Like,
I don't remember that. Yes, I'd got it. Yeah,
Sarah's, I think.
Yes, I know what you're saying now.
Dipped tuna in the thing, and then left it under Marcello's bed, and then when Marcello's saying like about the smell, about like your pH, whatever, that they think that's just like completely off the cut and like that, but like it had context of it. So like people are thinking like you're just being like nasty and saying like you're a vegan, your pH is off, which isn't the case. That's they miss the context of what happened before it. Right. So like they're kind of editing it sometimes to be nasty to the person that's saying it because they're not showing the full picture.
Well, they're making a TV show.
Yeah, exactly that. Like, at the end of the day, like the stuff that you think's going to be good telly or interesting, like me, like I remember one time, like so, like one of the biggest events that happened in my life was like my childhood best friend died, and I think I spoke about it twice while I was in there, and like I was in tears every single time because I'm shit at speaking about it, to be honest. But it didn't get aired once, and for me it was like a massive thing to like open up and like speak about. Cause I remember in the security class with Vizaz, I remember speaking about it. And I was crying about it, and like I thought it was like quite a big thing of the fact that I'm very very young to lose like your childhood best mate. I'm very very young, so it was like a massive thing for me to like then speak about on national television. I was in tears while speaking about it because like not that long. I'm too recent to like still like feel very much emotions about it, and I thought like it would be a thing, but didn't even get aired. And I remember the second time I spoke about it, obviously I don't know what's getting aired and what's not getting aired. I remember the second time we spoke about it, we did that like task where it's like they sit around and like speak about different things in your life. And I remember like it's happened once, like they came to me and I went like, sorry, I'm not even going to speak about it because I'll know I'll just be in tears when I speak about it. So I went like, just move on to the next person. Then straight after I went to the diary room and I went like, I'm not that sort of person to just say like, and just like, nah, I'm not doing it to an answer and like just avoid a question. So I just sat there and explained everything that went on. And I was in like absolute tears. I remember I wore sunglasses because I knew I was going to cry and I didn't want my mum to see me cry on telly. So I remember just explaining like what happened by like my best friend that died and like that sort of story. Because like I went like, I'm not the sort of person that's just going to say like, nah, I'm not going to speak about it. Because like that's not, I don't want anyone to be that person. It knows when someone else be that person and say like, oh, I don't speak about that. So I speak about, I'm very, very like unfiltered and I'll speak about everything. So like that was a massive event for me to speak about my best friend dying. And then I found like that none of it got aired, and for me it was like a big development for me to like be able to speak about it. And I know that none of it got aired, and I thought like, what the fuck? Like I know it's a bit like shit, but like obviously I don't know what gets aired, so it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah, it's weird to not because from watching it as well.
Yeah,
Ali had a death in their family.
Yeah,
was that a brother? Yeah, but like
Yeah.
that was never like fully shown. It was like
Yeah.
referenced to. But I think that maybe
Yeah, so-
it wasn't that they did the same with you. That they didn't do the first story,
Yeah.
and then but then it became a thing that they had to like.
Yeah, exactly. That's like because they don't like embed like the first part of the story.
Yeah, yeah.
Because like they don't know what's going to branch off after it. They don't show any of it, which is like kind of like if the show's 2 hours, they might show it, or like if the story like the story writers behind Big Brother like think that like stories are going to write certain things, so they'll get the clips that portray this story. So like if they don't fit that sort of thing in the clip, or like the story was written a different way, then they won't bother about the rest of the clip.
Yeah. But then to play devil's advocate, it must also be hard to predict what happens, and then it's gonna go on to make a story, and I suppose it must be a hard job on the other side.
Exactly. That's why it would be so much easier if you just had just play whatever you think's interesting, not like trying to write a story, just play
or make it like a 2-day delay rather than a 1-day delay.
Yeah, exactly. Just so you can put or like even just like use certain stuff like the out like use the context of it, just so like obviously when I go into a television show, I know that stuff's gonna happen like out of context. I know that certain parts of me is gonna get shown that I don't think was even fair. Like boring's mental. That was mental. Like I remember like Khaled rang me as soon as I got on the show and was like, "How are you getting called boring?" And I was like, "I don't know, but I don't know what's going on." But like it is really like there is that risk. Like there's also that risk that like you get like an absolute dickhead and you get probably cancelled or something like that. So you know your risk, but like at the same time you think like it could have just been a different way. It could have been so much different, but it is what it is. Yeah, it's happened now. That chapter's kind of ended my life.
You glad you did it?
Yeah, man, I'd do it tomorrow again. It's such a great side quest, man. Like, how many people can you speak to the fact that they've been locked away for 6 weeks, away from everything, no contact with the outside world, and lived in like a massive mansion with 15 other strangers. It's so unique. I'd do it again.
And does it change anything? Do you have everyone's always like, I see life differently, a totally perspective. Does it change much?
Nah. Like my life's back to not back to the same. Like my life's changed from being a Big Brother, like well and truly. So opened a lot of doors and gave new opportunities, allowed me to like live a different life. But I mean, like I don't appreciate anything more. I mean, like my life's my life. Yeah, still the things that I loved before I went to Big Brother, I still love now. Like I'm still a footballer. I'm still obsessed with that sort of world. My interest in like gym. And like fashion and music and like so heavily involved with like football, it's still the exact same. Like it hasn't changed niche. I don't appreciate anything more. Like oh, I didn't have my phone for 6 weeks, so like I really understand I don't have my phone. You should see my screen time. Like I love my phone still. Like it's just a random mission for my life.
Yeah, no, okay, that's good. And then our very last question is: do you all speak to each other? Does anyone speak to each other at all?
I try. I've still. I'm not gonna like slag anyone off because I still like everyone. So like, I mean like I'm still in contact with everyone. As in like there's no one I don't like from that show. Like I think there's some people I speak to more than others. I still like catch up like occasionally with random people. For like the fact of just saying like hi, how's things? Like, oh, sorry, I haven't heard from you. It's been a while since we've spoke. Like, remember, I've tried to catch up, like, quite, like, I try to send, like, them occasional texts and, like, have the conversation with, like, Ali and Lily and Marcello, Shagan I've been speaking to, Izaz, Emma, like, I try to keep it connected as much as I can because, like, we spoke every single day for 6 weeks, so, like, whether you like or not, we're, like, we'll still, they know a whole lot about me for a person that only known for 6 weeks, so you try to keep a lot in contact with them, and, like, I still, like, support everyone in what they're doing. Like even if it's the little things like people trying to push themselves on social media, like I still like go like and comment on the stuff because what's the least I can do? Like we're not competing, like we're not competitors anymore. I'm not like, oh, if they follow and like Sarah's stuff then they can't like my stuff or something. Like it's not like that. Like we're not competing anymore. We just might as well support someone else and doing what they're doing. But people have got like rivalries at the moment and like having feuds online and just leave me out of it. And like I'm not like yesterday I went on a live with Izaz, I went on a live with Emma and Nathan, and then I looked on someone sent me a Reddit post today, and apparently I'm like one of them. I was just on a live. I'm like I'm not on no one's side. I'm just on a live. I was just chit chatting them because I scrolled from my feed and saw Emma's live, and then I said hi in the chat, and I was like, oh, do you want to come on? I'm like, yeah. And then apparently I'm like taking sides, and I was like, I'm not taking sides. I'm just here for the giggle.
Yeah. Well, okay, last question: were Hannah and Shagan? Would you reckon they were a thing or not?
See, I think that was portrayed really, really badly because I don't think they actually were like that.
No.
But wow, I didn't know Shagan said them things of like she comes on to me. Like I didn't know he said that, which makes it sound like that. which I didn't really think it was a.
That was one of the biggest. That when she got the letter, Hannah, for all that was the biggest. Like,
and
oh my
and
God,
I thought back for a second because I think the way he came off the show, like you looked at his highlights package, everyone ever spoke about him for that 6 weeks was that. Which I think's harsh. Like, imagine spending 6 weeks and all anyone's going to speak about is that last week, the time he went with the girl. That's all they're going to speak about. That's mental. Like, that's an ouchie. But it is what it is. I think Hannah's got like a flirty personality, but she's a really nice person. But that's the way that Hannah is. So like, it's so easy for the editors to portray the fact it's flirting. But I think she's lovey-dovey with everyone. Like, she'll like cuddle up to you. And like she'll like happy like do all these tasks of like she was like doing my eyebrow every single day of like she's so happy to like do other things for other people so people can see it as like flirting or like flirtatious. I don't think it was that, but it must have been like the easiest job for these editors to say it's flirting, like the easiest job ever.
Yeah, right. I think we are going to do that as a second video. That was 2 hours, but I really was so interested in
No, feel free.
Well, thank you very much.
If you have any more questions after this, just ask me.
I think I might have got me fixed. I think, but yeah, thank you very much.